If it is not installed, then we can do the installation.
Yeah, I had installed, but I was facing
Okay,
some
so
issues.
go to the home page, the left side top. Okay, guys, if you have any doubts, stop me there. Okay,
Okay,
so
thank
what
you.
you're viewing now, it's a default screen of your UiPath Studio. Okay, so on the left side, what you're seeing is open a local project, clone, or checkout. In the right side, we have process and library. So process is something, a blank project, which you can work on like POC or any logic that you're building up, you can work on that. Okay. Library is a component which can be usable for multiple process. That means suppose I'm working on an application, the same application is can be utilized by other developers who are gonna work on the other process. Then I can create that application as a library, like providing login, logout, filling up the input values. Those I can define it as a each activity and then I can publish it. Once I publish it, the other user, whoever is going to work with the application, they can use those library activities. So in order to develop that, make sure that whatever the application you're going to develop as a library, it has a use for more than one process. Okay. So next, what you're seeing the below are the templates that are available by UiPath. And the most used one is Robotic Enterprise Framework, which we shortly call it as RE framework. So all the business level will be developing their project from this one. So what is specialized in this one is everything is structured and organized. As a developer, you just need to open the RE framework, create your modules, and then place it according to the moving blocks, and the process should be working fine. So as a user, instead of you doing it, it's already created for that. So you just need to place the things when and where it is required in order to run the end-to-end process. Okay. In the left side, can you see team? Go to team. So basically, we have three types. Okay. Basically, understand this. So this is nothing but a repository. Okay. When and where this will be required is when a single project used by multiple users. So not all the users can just log into the project because once a person is accessing, another person cannot access it. So what we usually do is we add the project to the repository. That means it's nothing but a virtual space, and whoever is accessing it has to do a checkout. Checkout is nothing but you're taking the copy from the virtual space and storing it to your local folder, and you start working on it so that since it is placing in your local folder, it won't be interfered by anyone else. So each user or a project member will start working on their modules. Once their things, everything is development, everything is completed for the day. What they do have to do is they have to do a check-in. That means what are the new changes they added up, they're gonna update it to the repository. So, what is the other uses? Every time you do a upload, update, save, it will be tracked in the log. In case if you want to see previously who made the change or remove the file, modified it, you can easily track that one. Okay. So Git is a free way. That means you can use it for free. That's the reason it's been there. There are other two methods also that which I will show you what are the two methods. So on the same, that means the functionality is same. Maybe the methods and the inputs may be different for the other two methods, but on the basis, it's the same. Okay. So below to it, can you see tools? Okay. So the UiPath extensions, what you're seeing it, whenever you're working with any one of this application, you need to make sure this extension is installed and that is enabled by the application. Then only you will be able to spy the modules or elements. Elements are nothing but text box, button, read value, write value, whatever it is. All those activities will be performed only when these extensions are installed on that, except Internet Explorer. Okay, so Next one is settings. Come to settings. So here it is a general one. You can choose your language and theme of your Blue Prism window. So I think you have three colors: light, black, and default. Okay, so the colors will be changed. The one which you're viewing is the light one. If you give dark, everything turns to be black. Okay, so in case if you have did any changes which is causing you any trouble, you can always come back here, click on reset settings. Everything will be turned back to the initial one how it was. Okay, in the left side once again click on design. So here auto backup interval. So 30,000 milliseconds is nothing but 30 seconds. Auto backup interval is when you're working in your studio. If you don't do, if you keep working on without saving or running or whatever it is, so after 30 seconds, it will be automatically saving your project. That is called auto backup interval. If you want to define a new timeline for that, you can do it. Next one is project timeout. When you're publishing a project to the orchestrator, 30 seconds your wait time. If it is taking more than 30 seconds, then it will time out. Error you will be getting it. So okay. So next one is open project behavior. Suppose I'm opening my process project. Okay. So what should be the tabs available? Whether it should be a main file, no tabs, or previously open tabs. You can choose that option accordingly. Okay. So next we have is analyzer, which is a recent added one. So what analyzer does it? It'll be going through each and every line of the code, activities, input, output parameters, everything. It'll give a list of all the errors populated and then shoot it. So which you have to rectify in order to run or proceed further with the project. Okay. So analyzer is nothing but so all the best practices have you followed in your program or not. So any unuse of variables, values, anything, it'll be considered an error. Okay, that's what is about analyzer. That means info analyzer before publish. Before I'm publishing the project to the production, they want to make sure that there is no errors. So next, analyzer before run. Before when I'm making a test runs, so that time it will be used for that. Okay. So enforce analyzer means if I'm just gonna run the project, then it will be showing as an error message on that. Okay. Same enforce check-in before publish. Okay. It'll be saving the data if it is already there in your, I mean to say when it is already there in your see enforce analyzer before publish. So before publish is nothing but before you're uploading the data to the orchestrator. Analyzer before run is when you're just playing the process to check the run. That time also it will be checking the analyzer. Okay, so check in before publishes. So if you have forgotten that you added your project to repository and forgot to update the recent updates to it, that will be automatically taken up. Enforce check-in before publish. It makes sure the pop-up and messages shown to the user who has to do these things. Okay. So next one is output console size. So this output console size is nothing but in the left side, a small window will be there. Every time the project makes a run, it'll be popping out and showing you what the things are there. That means the load has been completed or not. If there is any output generator or not, those details you can see there. Okay. So the next one is so run debug behavior. So first understand it. We have two things: run and debug. Run will not have a stop point or breakpoint won't be followed. It will run, it will keep running. When I say run file, so there is a difference. Run project and run file. Run project will always start from your main file, and run project will be always your main file. Same goes for the debug project also. The other one, debug file and run file, whatever the tab is active, that particular code will be running. Clear? If you want to change which one should be appearing in the default, you can make a modification there. Okay. So next one is minimize on run. That means when the project is running, it makes sure that the documents, everything, whatever has been opened, it's minimized, and then it performs the activity what it has to perform. Okay. So come back to locations. So here you're defining where you want to publish your process. Uh, if there is already a library, so what is the link of that? And where is your project path location? So you can define it here. Click on manage sources. So manage sources is something like your Play Store. So anything that you need, you can always check out here and install it. So same like your Play Store, it has unwanted things also. That means user would have been created it just like that and not utilize it, blank errors. So you have to choose it wisely in order to before to clear it. Okay, so you have all this one. So you can, if you want to add something new, on the right side you can see a plus, give the name and the value, and then save it. It will be done. Okay, so now click on the so as usually click on the start, and then you can give the name, and then you have to provide the description, and the project will be okay. So now click on back. So this is the initial screen of your project. Okay, the one which you are seeing the red and black in the bottom is called output. Okay, so now we're gonna see in the beginning, it's a beginning first session, right? So we're gonna see how to store the value to a variable. At the same time, we can retrieve the value from the variable. Okay, so now in the left side top, in new, yeah, click on that, an arrow pointing downwards. Yes, click on that. So you can see sequence, flowchart, state machines. Okay, so let's start with sequence. Click on sequence. So by the name only you can understand how the sequence will be running. It always in a sequential order. So that's the reason. Okay. So name it as variables and then create it. Any doubts so far, guys? Is it clear? Have I missed something? You just need to point out where it has to be redoing once again.
No, so far so good.
Okay, sounds good then. Okay, click on create. Okay. So on the left side, can you see project? Can you click on that? In the left side, below the activities, next to that. Yes. Can you collapse the output window? In the right side, can you see a pinpoint symbol there? Yes, click on that. That's it. So this is in the left side, what you're seeing is the project folder structure. By default, whatever you're seeing in the red, it should be blue. And those are the dependencies, okay, which is available. And you'll be having one main XAML file, one project.json, and the other files, whatever you're creating it. Okay, so if you see anything red, that means there is some error. What you have to do is in the top, can you see manage packages? Click on that. So it is a degrade issue. So what you have to do is either change the version or uninstall and reinstall it. Okay, same way you have to do for. So these are the basic ones. Okay, so now go to official. So see here. So here the user created ones also will be there. So make sure that you choose only the official ones, because if any issues, right, they will get back to you.
So this is
Okay,
like a place
if it
for
is
the
not, then it will be
and
difficult for you.
activities.
Type uipath.excel.activities. uipath.excel. Yeah, click on that and then install. Next, mail activities. Search for mail. Click on that, install. So next one is system activities. UiPath dot. Okay, so next one is, I don't think so. UI automation activities. I think that should be there. Anyway, try it out. UI automation. Okay, so if everything is done, click on save. Then it will be automatically updated. Click on OK. I think some of the link which has been mentioned, right? It is blocking you from accessing it. Maybe since it is, can you see in the bottom? Fail to download package. I think it is some issue that it is not allowing you to capture that package. Otherwise, you have to revert back to the previous version rather than new version. Whichever is compatible, take that one. Okay, so maybe that is the issue, that check it out with IT team, but I'll also get into that. Okay, so anyone else is facing the same issue?
I'm facing installation issue.
Okay, so fine. Now, in order to create variables, in the center to your screen, bottom left, can you see variables? Yes, click on that. So you have to click on the container in order to create the variable. Click on the container, sequence 19 April 2021. Yes, click on that. Now can you see create variable option arrived? So in the create variable, type int input. You can't have spaces for variables. Can use capital I. Okay, now, so first we're gonna see the string variables. So here you can see the variable type where you can choose what kind of data type it has to be. If you want to extend what are the other data types also, you can see from there. Okay, next one is scope. I'll take you through what is scope. Okay. Now, if you have any default value to be stored, you can store it over there in the default. Okay, so now go for the do one thing, drag and drop one more sequence, go to activities, drag and drop one more sequence. Okay, go to activities in the bottom. Can you see? Yeah, click on that. Inside the sequence is it. Okay, so consider that one as part A and part B. Always remember that you have to give the proper name as per the usage. Can you see in the right side properties? So that you can configure it. Click on the activity and then drag and drop. Wait. So drag. Okay, now click on that. In the bottom, can you see create variable? Type out result. Okay, so now click on sequence 19 April 2021 in the center screen. I mean to say in the center screen. Okay, so now if you click it, click on this other one. That means the other one. Sequence 19 April 2021. So you can't see the variable because the scope of the variable is not there. for that reason. Okay. So now what you have to do is, in order to bring back that to be accessible throughout the program, click on the click on the container sequence. So now can you see the scope is being given in sequence, right? From the drop down chosen, from the drop down choose sequence 19. Okay, so now you can see, now you can click on the containers to see whether the things are shown up or not. Okay, so can you see scope, out result scope is there, right? So that was within the result. So from the drop down choose sequence 19 April 2021. Hello. Yeah. So this is called the scope because the previous one, it was available only for the other one in the cage. The second one is not available because the scope of the variable stays within the first one and not going to the second one. Now now since we have given the scope of it, it's accessible around all the page of the present one, and mainly all the files will be having the extension of .xaml. Clear?
My only question is, how do we
Yes.
know with what he's got highlighted with sequence? Are you saying that the scope is available now? How do we validate
Okay.
that?
So see, when you're creating a variable in a particular container, I mean to say the sequence is a container. So when
Yep.
you create a variable to that, the scope of the variable is within that container. So that's the reason what we are doing is selecting the variable scope and then changing the scope of the variable to the initial one so that the variable is accessible across all the containers and not specific to one container.
Okay.
Okay. So now the variable is not accessible. Now changing the int input to the specific sequence 19. Now both the variable will be accessible.
Got it.
Okay. And always it's a best practice to change the display name. So whatever you're seeing the sequence, right? On the right side in the properties, the display names will be there for all the activities. So whatever its purpose, just mention that over there in a short. If I'm assigning a value, so you can say that, so this value is assigning, or a condition, what condition check is happening. So if you define it, if a person who is working on, it'll be a good reference for him, as well as the person who will be working on the future in the project also, it'll be helpful for them. Okay. So now, in order to store a value to a variable, what we have to do is, can you see assign in the left side? Drag and drop in the first plus symbol. Can you see? Yes. This is one method of dragging and dropping. Or what you can do is, you can click on the plus activity. A pop-up window will be appearing of a drop-down like combo box, where you have to type it and it'll be appearing. Then you just need to select it. Okay. Type assign. What you did is correct. Click on the plus symbol. I'll tell you. Click on the plus. I mean to say here. Type. Double click on assign. See, it's up here. So first, what we're gonna see is we're gonna see what is the character length I'm defining it. So let's first assign the value for that. So you can assign it in the default as well as in the program run. So it's up to you which one you want to choose. Okay. So in the left side, type the variable name int input. On the right side, in between the double quotes. That means all the text values that we are storing and working on, it has to be placed in between the double quotes. Okay. In the left side, in the to activity, declare the variable name int. Yes. Use always control space and then select the variable and use tab key. It'll be done. Okay. Or double click on it. That also works. In the right side, in between double quotes, give a value what to be stored in that. In between the double quotes, give a sentence or a word Just give hi, how are you in between the double quotes. In between the double quotes. Why we give? Because for the text expression, we have to give here. If it is a number, you can just directly declare it. Same goes for the date. Only for the string values, we have to use double quotes. Okay. So now drag and drop a right line. In the left side, can you see right line? In the left side, can you see under activities, you can see a right line. Right line. Drag and drop below the first assign activity. So now what we're going to do is below the assign activity. Yeah. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to take the length of the string and that. So in the right line, what happens is the message will be appearing in your output. For that purpose, we use this. Next, for next activity, I'll show you how the message box is defined. Okay, in the right line, type int input, int input dot length, len dot. Vijay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Dot length, len, yes, dot toString, because length will return you the value of a number. Okay, to avoid that, we're gonna use, it has to print number, so we're using that. Okay, so now what happens, the length will be printed, whatever the message that you said hi, how are you, right? That will be populated. Second, so now we're gonna convert to a uppercase. Okay, so you can just click on the right line, Control C and Control V twice. Click on the right line activity and then press Control C and Control V. Click on the right line header, or you can just drag and drop one more right line, both as you wish. Dot length dot toString. Can you drag and drop one more right line below the first right line? Okay, so now, so what we're gonna do is whatever the values you have given, it is small case. So we want to convert everything to a uppercase. So int input dot to upper dot toString. Can you type it out? Int input dot to upper dot toString. ToString. See, why we use ToString is for the conversion. The value, whatever the result is there, it has to be printed as a string message. For that, we give ToString. Okay. So now, in the right side, so in the left side top, can you see a play symbol? Yeah. Just click on the play button. Don't do anything. Just click on the play button. Now your project will be saved, and there is a validation error. What is that? A to activity was not supplied. I think one assign activity which we dragged and dropped, we were not using it. Just right click that activity and delete it. Right click the activity
Yeah.
and then delete it. That's it. Okay, now run the program. Okay, just go to your output. You can see the words that is printed. Can you see 13? And hi, how are you? Okay, the same thing if you want to print it in a message box. In the left side activities in the top, can you see a search? You can use that or click on the plus button and type message box. Both are fine. Okay. So this will be message, MESSAGE space
like,
box. Complete it fully. I think the package is missing. Okay, I think the package is missing. You have to add the package.
I tried adding multiple times, but I was getting an error which we saw earlier.
I think something is blocking actually. The link is blocking. Can you check with your IT team?
Yeah,
Sure.
I already IM'd him to try to get an answer if he's got admin rights.
Mm-hmm. It is not about admin rights. Certain websites, right? It's the URL which may get blocked. Because what
Oh,
exactly it is performing is it's like it's extracting the information from that website and populating here. So when you click on install here, the installation will be done, which
yeah.
will be a download from there, and the installation will be there. So on the left side, go to project, click on the project. So the whatever the red ones we are seeing, it shouldn't be appearing actually. It should be blue.
Do you know
Because since
what the access path is, or what I should tell our network guy to unblock?
in the left side and the top home, can you go? Yes, click on that and go to settings, manage sources. So this is the URL. So the one which is mentioning is NuGet. So the NuGet.arc, it's not accessible. That's what the error message is.
Here, just a second. API.
So these are the URLs which we are using it. If we have the access for it, then usually in the office, right? So these are the download links. So usually it will be blocked. So that's the reason it is preventing him from using the URLs.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's go for the other one. So it's a string variable, how to declare, how to use it. So the same methods, whatever I said, right? The methods that are available, like same way you can do for to lower, dot contains, dot start with. So those are the methods that are available under string class. So which you can practice on. You can just click on the drag and drop a right line. I'll tell you what are the methods are there. You can try only the ones which you can understand. Don't go for the complicated ones. Okay. So int input dot. Don't do anything. So these are the methods available. So you can just use your arrow keys to scroll down or mouse to scroll down. Both you can try it out. Certain things will be complicated. Okay, certain things will give you a good. So can you see contains, which will returns you true or false? That means the text that I'm searching for, it's available or not. It should be a proper case letter. Suppose I will give capital C, then the search also has to be start with capital C. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Okay. So contains will return you true or false. Scroll down. So ends with is nothing but suppose I say Vijay. AY, is it the string value? Is it ending with AY? It will return you true or false. Suppose you're searching for an employee ID. Is it starting with this particular character or ending with this number? You can always make a check. Okay. Scroll down.
Is there a way to see examples of it within the
Yeah, we
tool?
can try it out. Type ends with. No, I mean to say
No.
I'm explaining it so
Yeah,
that
no,
you can try it out.
yeah,
Okay.
I understand
Click
that,
on.
but if I were to try to find the
Okay.
right, if I was doing something like in Excel, I can go to their help and see what their very.
Okay. Wait. Let me take you through that. Then wait a minute. Go to your
I,
browser. Type. Vijay, can you go to your
Yeah.
browser?
Yes.
Type string class Microsoft Docs. String class class space Microsoft Docs. Enter. Can you see string class system Microsoft third link? Yeah, click on that. So on the left side, can you see methods? So you have all the methods here, as well as showing the syntax and what would be their output.
Perfect. Okay.
So for each data type that we're going to work on, those classes are here. So not all the things which we'll be working on. The only
Yeah.
one which is required for the process development, those logics to build up, we will be using those methods. Like as I said, right? If you want to check a particular value, is it ending with a particular character or a number? I can use end with. If it is from the beginning, if it is a replace, can you go for replace, the left side? This will help you to replace a particular string value. What is the search text and what is the replace text should be available. If you give, it'll be replaced. Suppose I will say, hi, how are you? How word has to be replaced with some other word. Okay, can you go over to UiPath Studio? Let's do that one. The first screen. Okay, so the instead of ends with, remove ends with and do replace. Replace. Circle brace. No, not dot. Clear that. Circle brace. So first thing is you have to give the character which is already present. So in between double quotes, give a word HOW, which you have defined in the initial one. Okay. You have given that in the small case. You have to do the same way. H is in the capital. Okay. So the next after the double quotes, give a comma. In between double quotes, what was the value to